Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Tyleibella. I'm a lifestyle mindset and self-development creator. If you like my content and you want to see more, please make sure to click the subscribe button and turn the notification bell on so you never miss a video. So as you can see from the title, today's video is about shadow work. So during this video, I'm going to be going through what shadow work is, how you can do shadow work, why shadow work is beneficial, and then I'm going to give you a few practices on how you can actually do some shadow work. So what is shadow work? Your shadow side of yourself is the part of yourself which you tend to hide, or you're a bit embarrassed of, you don't feel confident about, maybe you're a little bit ashamed of this side of yourself or this part of yourself. And we have a tendency to hide this part of ourselves and maybe repress this part of ourselves. So by doing this, your shadow self, your shadow side will always find a way to be seen. It wants to be acknowledged. It is still part of you, whether you like it or not. This shadow side is still part of you, so it wants to be seen, it wants to be heard. Our shadow side uses triggers which create an emotional reaction which 9 times out of 10 don't happen at the best time. So here's an example which I found on Google. So as a child, people keep telling you, or people tell you, that you talk too much. As an adult, maybe you're going to work, you're going to do a work presentation, and your colleague or your boss or someone who you work with says, don't put too many words on that slide, and your reaction is frustration. You go straight to defensive mode and you're angry. This is due to the trauma that hasn't been dealt with when you was younger. It's been repressed in your shadow side. So to manage your shadow side and make your shadow side feel heard, and to heal your shadow side, you have to first train yourself to be more self-aware and to work with your shadow self in a healthy way. Shadow work helps you to accept every part of yourself, and it helps you to be your authentic self. I want you to know you shouldn't view your shadow self as something to be scared of, something to dislike, something as negative, because your shadow self just wants to be seen. Imagine a scared tiny you, like the baby version of you, and you're just trying to dismiss it. Every time something comes up that triggers you, you're pushing that baby you away and you're not helping it. That is your shadow self, and it craves to be understood. 9 times out of 10, you tend to be a lot less scared of something when you understand it. Acknowledging these parts of yourself allows you to let go, and things that would have triggered you before may not have that effect on you anymore. So not acknowledging or helping or healing your shadow self may lead to low self-esteem, anxiety or depression, self-sabotage, struggling to have healthy relationships, or an inflated ego. So how can you improve your relationship with your shadow self? So the trick is to uncover the parts of yourself which you would usually try to hide. You need to learn to develop self-awareness, exploring different parts of yourself and spiritual learning. So by practicing shadow work, you can gain a lot more confidence, you can improve your creativity, you can build relationship skills, self-acceptance, you discover your hidden talents, and this also increases your compassion. So before I get into the practices, I need you to know that having help from a therapist or someone who specializes in helping with trauma would be very beneficial. I am not a psychologist, I'm not a therapist, so do not take my words for gospel. This will not work for everybody, but here is what I like to do to get in touch with my shadow self. So before you start your shadow work, I want you to be patient with yourself. I don't want you to rush. You need to take your time. You need to keep an open mind. That is very important. Keep an open mind. Be non-judgmental. These are your feelings. This is how you once upon a time felt. Don't start questioning why you felt like that or why you handled the situation like that. No regret. Don't be judgmental. It's from a non-biased point of view. You're simply observing how you felt then, because that is what you did to get through a hard time. And reflect on your progress. A lot of the time we make so much progress, even daily, and we don't take time to reflect on how far we've come. So that is very important, that throughout this whole practice, and when you repeat the practice, that you reflect. And 3 things I want you to avoid from now on, from today. As soon as you've watched this video, I want you to avoid doing these 3 things. I want you to tell yourself that there will be no more negative self-talk, because that is literally a killer. No more negative self-talk. No more self-judgment. No more judgment. And I want you to remember not to be obsessed with healing or self-development. Of course, these things are beautiful in moderation. This isn't something that you should be obsessing over, because if you're always worrying about how you can be better, you're never going to appreciate how you are now. So it's really important that you understand that everything is good in moderation. You need to remain living in the moment, enjoying the moment, be grateful for where you are now. So that is very important to remember that. And you're growing at the pace that you're meant to be growing. So here are the 3 shadow work practices, which I'm going to explain in detail so you can carry them out, or so you can practice them at home. So the first one is journaling, and this is probably my favourite one because it's my most successful. And it's quite straightforward. Now first you're going to want some journal prompts, which is so easy to get hold of. You can go on Pinterest, Google, just type in journal prompts and they'll come up. And the questions are usually quite deep because obviously you're trying to get into them deep feelings that you've kind of repressed. For example, when do you feel most like yourself? And then you're going to answer it in detail. And sometimes when I'm writing these answers, it's almost like I didn't expect myself. Like some of the stuff I know off the top of my head, but other times I'll just let my hand start writing, and then something else that I didn't expect to be written down would be on the page, and I'm like, I didn't know I felt like that. So it's really good for self-discovery as well. You can search for journal prompts within different categories, such as journal prompts for inner healing, for self-discovery, journal prompts to help you release emotion. So there is journal prompts for a lot of different categories. So if you really want to be specific, that's great, search for them. But if you just want a general journal prompts, then just search journal prompts, you know. As I said, this is really good for getting to know yourself on a deeper level, self-discovery, and helping you to heal and accept your past. My second method is meditation. Now this is a very different type of meditation. It requires you to visualize and go back into a time where you didn't feel safe, or maybe a really traumatic time. Now this definitely isn't for everybody. I don't suggest you do this if you don't feel ready. I need to make it clear that this practice isn't for everybody. If you don't feel ready, don't do it. It may be handy to have someone professional. If you did want to do this, have someone professional who knows how to deal with trauma around with you, who can help you, who can guide you through this practice. You need to lay down, and I actually think I've spoken about this in another video, but I want you to lay down and get into a meditative state and think back to a time where you felt scared or unhappy or lonely or sad or a traumatic moment. And I want you to visualize this, replay it, and I want you as yourself now, go back to that time and talk to yourself. So maybe you was crying, or maybe you was angry, maybe having a panic attack, and I want you to go back to yourself and I want you to talk to yourself. Tell them how the situation played out. Tell them that their emotions are valid, their emotions are heard. Tell them that they are within their rights to react how they did, because that is the only way they knew how to handle the situation at that time. Tell them that that situation has made you stronger. Thank them for handling that situation. Tell them that you are in a better place now and you don't need to act like that in certain situations. Comfort them and remind them how strong they are, but tell them that they don't need to be scared, and thank them for getting you through that moment and for handling the situation in the best way they knew how. So that one is going to hit very hard, and if you're crying at the end, that is good. That's the emotion being released from your body. For some harder situations, you might need to do it a few times, but it is very beneficial. I've tried that a few times and it's crazy how well it's worked. And obviously practice makes perfect with these types of things. So the last thing is to get creative. So it's not always easy for people to write down or talk about their feelings, right? So putting it on a piece of paper is a very good way to do this. You're going to get into a meditative state of mind, and you're going to want a paper, either a pencil or a pen or some paint. So either one, whatever medium you want to use, maybe chalk, pastel pens, watercolor, like it's up to you. Pick any medium you want. And you're going to want to use the opposite hand to which you write with. So I write with my right hand. So for this practice, I'm going to use my left hand. So I'm going to start meditating. I'm going to close my eyes. Now the pad of paper is going to be here. And my pen, pencil, brush, whatever, my medium is going to be in my left hand because I'm right-handed, right? If you're left-handed, you're going to want to use your right hand. So you're going to start focusing on your breath, and you're going to want to start writing, drawing, whatever. Although you won't be able to read it, this is a very good way of your body, your shadow self, releasing emotions. Whilst you're meditating, some thoughts might pop into your head about maybe certain scenarios or situations from your past, and you can just acknowledge them, comfort your younger self, and let the thought flow away. Still writing on the piece of paper, because this is what you're releasing. If you're new to shadow work, I suggest you start off with journaling. It's the best way, self-discovery, and it is just very eye-opening actually. So thank you for watching my video. I really enjoyed making this one. If you like my content, click the subscribe button and the thumbs up. I will see you in another video. I really need a proper outro, because I never know what to say on the outros. Thank you for watching my video. Follow me on my socials. I'll see you on another video, and maybe on the next video I'll have a proper outro. Thank you for watching.